Thursday, June 26, 2025. If we could all stand and do a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. May we have roll call, please?
Dr. Valerie Francisco Menchavez. Here. Adrian Tissier.
Here.
Natasha Opfel.
Here.
Okay. We have the approval of the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? Okay, we have a motion?
If I wasn't here, I can't approve.
You can.
Oh, I
As long
can't?
as you read
Okay.
them.
Sure. Yes, second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I don't see anybody in the audience that's jumping up to speak, so we'll move past oral comment and we'll come to communications. Natalie?
Good evening. Under the communications section, we're going to be going through some updates to the City of Daly City website based on our last conversation from 2 meetings ago, and some of the ideas that the commissioners had as far as resources. So I wanted to go through those updates and a few other updates on the website that we're working on. So the first item, if you can scroll up a tiny bit, Martha. So we did list all of the members' information. We are waiting for all of the photos and bios that we're going to have direct links to each of the members. So that's forthcoming. So I just wanted to start with that. And then under resources, some of the topics that we discussed, we're having legal assistance and immigration concern websites. So I wanted to go through some options that we could list as resources to see if these things that you would like to have, either one or both. So we'll start with the immigration and legal services for the county. So this is information that the San Mateo County offers. So we could have this link to the Daly City website as a quick link for Daly City residents. The second link, this is API legal outreach, and there is a Daly City free legal clinic that's offered on the 2nd and 4th Friday of each month that I just wanted to highlight, and that this can also be on the website. The third link that we talked about was having community health and mental health resources. So the third link is also from the county on healthcare services. So in general health, emergency medical, pregnancy, children and families, teens, age and disability services, and mental health and substance abuse. The fourth idea that we talked briefly about were teen resources or job readiness and exploring leadership. So this is Coro, Northern California. So this is exploring leadership and elevating youth voices. So again, these are just some ideas. If you wanted to have as resources, we can continue to look for other resources, but I just want to let you know that these are some options based on our last conversation. And then under job readiness, we have information on CalWorks employment services. So this is one link. And then vocational rehabilitation services under the human services section of the county. And then NovaWorks. So this is a job connector for business services, young adult services, job searching. So this is just another option that we can list as a resource. And then some additional resources. We have energy and water bill saving. So this information that we have on the Daly City website as well is through Rising Sun, a Center for Opportunity. So this is a no-cost energy and water efficiency saving service that the city is promoting on the website. So I thought it might be good to also have this on our Women's Commission page as an additional resource. And there's also appliance upgrades. So this is through Transformative Climate Communities. And this is also connected to the Rising Sun, but thought this might be a good place to have this as just some additional resources. So these are all of the updates based on our conversation at the 2 meetings ago. We do have the first list that I had a long, extensive list too that I haven't updated just yet. I wanted to go through at least the commissioners' requests first to see if these are some ideas that we can keep on the website or we can add to them. I can also add everything that I had done prior to 2 meetings ago, just to include all of them in one comprehensive place to make it easy for you to review. But so those are the updates to the website thus far.
I just had two quick questions. One, I assume at some point we'll have a mission statement up there? Or was there already, I didn't see it. It's very small.
Yes.
It's up there.
So we do have a mission statement, and we can add that definitely under the members section, maybe. So we can add the mission statement for the City of Daly City and the Women's Commission, the ordinance information that's in our welcome packets that were provided to the commissioners. We can definitely add those.
Okay, great. The other question I had, this Nova Works, is that a women's group or is that services for all?
It's for all.
Okay, I'd never heard, is it a county? I've never heard of it.
Can you click on? There's a location in San Mateo, but also a location in Sunnyvale.
Okay. Is it a job searching type?
Yes.
Oh, connected
Yes.
to job. Okay, I got you. All right.
I have two questions too. Sorry, Natasha.
I'll go after.
Okay. In terms of law and mental health, I know that there are some community-based organizations that, like Apilo, that I'd like to offer. Do I suggest that now, or should I just email you?
Oh, you can definitely let me know now so I
Okay,
can
great.
start looking into it.
Yes. So the Filipino Mental Health Initiative of San Mateo, under the mental health resources, as we know, mental health is so culturally shaped, so I'm sure there might be other mental health services for, other sort of ethnic groups, but that's one that comes up in my mind. And for legal services, especially now at this time, the more the better on that resource page. The Asian Law Caucus runs out of San Francisco. They've been a long time sort of no bono, pro bono kind of organization. I'm not super sure if they serve this far out, but I do have a contact there and can ask. But that's just a suggestion for the legal.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Your turn.
I know that we're on the topic of websites, but I do want to flag if we can think about how to expand past webpage resources. I think especially in light of all the immigration issues facing our communities, I've been just in my neighborhood dropping off immigration red card resources like in laundromats, and the stacks go like that. People are taking them, and I've just been surprised that there haven't been notices either from the county's rapid response or something like just posted in physical meeting spaces. And I just wonder, I know that we have the resources online, but even knowing that law, once a month law, sent, like if we could post it in real, and just in places where we know people are would be equally as helpful.
I just want to clarify. So this is the one that you mentioned?
Yeah.
And this is also right outside the city clerk's office. They have a rotating billboard, but we can definitely look at what other places have this posted that's available in like a physical location.
The couple good places I could think of are the recreation centers and the libraries. You get a lot of people going there.
Yeah, the Excelsior Branch Library has like a whole corner dedicated to immigrant resources right now, and like marking it as a safe space, like, and kind of just acknowledging that. So I'm really curious as to what like Daly City can do about that. We have a lot of laundromats in the north part of the city that really help people that don't have traditional access to laundry and things like that, but like, renters or informal tenants and things like that would probably need these resources.
Thank you.
Oh, one other, or can I ask when do I save like a more general question, not related to this, at the end?
Probably under commissioner reports,
Oh, okay, thank you.
probably be the best. Any other comments or questions on this? And we'll probably take more feedback probably next time too, since these other two colleagues couldn't be here today. So hopefully we'll have a full complement next time.
Yeah. One more. Is the city, the county CSW, is it on the website anywhere? Like that we're connected to it, or?
We can definitely have that as a link,
That
yeah,
would be
to the Commission on the Status of Women for the county.
So if there's no other questions, we can then move on to our reports if you'd like, and you can ask your questions. And I know you had another additional something you wanted to talk about. It can go under staff report? Okay. Okay, so commissioners, if we have questions or comments, or, go ahead.
So along the lines of the immigration conversation, something that has just been top of mind is that this goes beyond just the needs of women, but women front and center, like not having the freedom to move in the same safe way, especially if they have an uncertain immigration status, or even if, you know, the rules about what a legal immigrant looks like right now are changing every day. And one thing that has crossed my mind is, you know, even the caregivers at my daughter's daycare. She goes to a Spanish immersion daycare. They're all have legal status, but they've been talking that they're afraid to ride the bus. Now they're afraid to take the kids to the park or even the library, and it's changing their movements. And I just know that that's probably rippling throughout our community greatly. And I don't know if there's any way that the city of Daly City can kind of, again, with either like posting or something to make people feel a little more like taken care of, or that someone's watching. I don't know what that looks like, or if the county has San Francisco's Rapid Response Network, and I know they're a whole different ballgame, but their immigrant services, like they're out there saying that they're there for them. And I just wonder what we're doing as a city to kind of announce that, like, we can, although we are limited in a lot of ways, like what safety nets exist. Because there's just like whispers all around, and people are really changing their behavior, and it's really anxiety. Like everyone has like a weight on them. So anything we can do for even like a touch of relief would be nice. And then on that note, I got a letter from, I believe it was the city of Daly City, that my neighborhood is a mattress hot zone. And I was quite interested in this data point, but I guess we have a lot of mattresses left on the sidewalk and things, and it made me think as to why that might be. And again, a lot of informal in-law units, people that are living month to month and might not be able to afford sustained housing and have to move and leave their mattress. And it was interesting to get a note about, hey, you live in a mattress hot zone, but then not hear anything else about holistically what that means for the community, or what else might we do. One, to get the mattresses gone, but two, to help people maybe stay in place. So I just wanted to mention that as something that was really weird to receive as a resident, and then not hear about ever again.
You know, Teresa may show up a little bit. She just texted me. She's coming from another meeting. She's actually been initiating this cleanup thing for the city. So a lot of times she'll, even on Facebook, show where some of these things are. And part of it is to get the city, you know, immediately to get rid of things. But if she gets here before we finish, you might want to ask her that question, because I know she's been doing a lot of work on it. So I can't answer it exactly, but I know she keeps talking to me about, she drives her nuts to see garbage and mattresses and everything around the city. So if she gets here in time, throw that out to her.
Yeah, and it's just really thinking about why in this neighborhood are there more like illegal dumping, and it's usually people's personal things, and not usually at the end of the month when they have to move, and just thinking about people's, you know, ability to stay in place and have affordable housing. And, you know, it just makes me think of the reasons why people are moving around. So brings up those questions too.
Anything you want to ask?
Can you pull up the mission statement for me? So one of the things I've been thinking about is, did Daly City have like a statement on pride, or is that not something that the city celebrates?
The city does celebrate
Okay.
Pride. We had the Pride flag raising,
Oh, nice.
Progress Pride flag raising a few
Excellent.
weeks ago.
Okay.
I think the first weekend of June.
Cool.
I don't know. I'll have to look into see if there's an actual statement, but yeah, we definitely
I
celebrate.
just wanted to
Pride.
kind of understand, where the city lands on that issue, just because I think, those communities are under fire too, in many ways, and our communities, that they're part of our communities, and in the same way that many of our immigrant neighbors and kin have a culture of fear that is pervasive, it also extends beyond them. And so just was wondering, I totally probably missed that. So my apologies. I think the Women's Commission, maybe in the future, I mean, we're on the tail end, there's only like 2 days left or whatever. Think about in what ways does the Women's Commission, our mission statement, also, lend itself to celebrating the LGBTQI community. So that's something maybe in the future.
I brought up in our first meeting if we could add or adjust the mission statement to include a more gender expansive framework, or at least bring in our, trans folks in our community that might identify as women, and just make it a little broader. And I did a little bit of research afterwards on women's organizations that have done that. And I think the Girl Scouts have a really interesting one, and the Radical Monarchs have an awesome one, and they're kind of a Girl Scouts for girls of color, specifically. And then the Women's Commission of Los Angeles as well has kind of an amended.
Yeah.
So that might be something.
Thank you for
interesting to
doing
look
that
at.
work, the research. And so, yeah, sort of circling back to that. And that's why I asked for the mission statement, because that might be one place where, I don't know what the process is of revising the mission statement, but I'm sorry, my eyes are so bad. Can you make it a little bigger? Because just looks like little scratches to me.
And I can definitely check with the city attorney on what that process looks like.
Okay. Oh, perfect. That's right. Yeah. Okay, great. And I'll just say the last thing, Natasha, I totally agree with you. I think there is a sort of cloak of something heavy that folks are carrying around. I think the ideas around sanctuary it doesn't even have to be like a policy, but all are welcome here. There was those beautiful posters not too long ago where it said like Daly City is united, or some, I don't know, can't remember the slogan in particular, but I think it's important symbolically to have that posted, and maybe part of the Women's Commission, our work is to kind of help imagine that. Outside of those sort of signaling to the city that what kind of values we have, I also wonder if in future meetings or the next meeting or whatever, we could really talk about this mission statement. I know we inherited it, like we didn't write it. But I do think, and I just want to make clear that the immigration issue, the issue of supporting queer, trans people, are women's issues, while they're not super like, oh, this is, I don't know. I think stereotypically like a gender issue or a women's issue. Just want to make sure that like folks in our city know that the Women's Commission isn't just about like women things, but things that affect women, which is, we live in this world, so it's the things in this world, right? Thank you.
You kind of triggered a thought for me after it's not quite on the same wavelength, but, one of the things that I know the city adopted was this concern about isolation of seniors. And since our population of seniors in Daly City is very high, I mean, it's the largest population, I know there's a group was set up in the city that's dealing with senior issues. But I do think that's something that we might also want to look at a different spectrum, the older senior in isolation, and what are we doing? And the city's probably doing some stuff already because they have that group that was created, but just to see what's happening and maybe follow up with them and then see if there's anything else we can add to it. Make sure some of these people get invited to things we do, and I think that really helps. And women tend to outlive the men, so a lot of times they're single and by themselves, so. Anyway, just a thought. Okay, any more commissioners' comments? No, you all good? Okay, you're on.
Okay, so I have one item, just as a staff update. So I wanted to start by thanking Rosie Tejada for coming to our last meeting, providing a lot of valuable information. She did want to follow up with me just to let me know that she had spoken about the county creating a staff position that would implement an action plan for women and children. So she did provide the press release. The position has not been created yet, so she just wanted to clarify that, but it is in the process. And she said that the survey that they're working on that is still in draft form, so she's looking into hosting a listen and learn meeting in February 2026. And she definitely wants to have the commission involved in that. And then also wanted to share that they're hosting a Women's Equality Day on August 26th. So this is a save the date for August 26th. She will send a formal invitation to all of us, but I did want to at least pass out that information that she provided to me to share with each of you.
And what was the February? Was that listen and learn? Yes. Okay. Sometimes it's hard the microphone tends to bounce on me here.
Sorry about that.
Oh, okay, great.
Thank you. So that was my update, just to follow up on Rosie Tejada's presentation.
Great. Okay. Put this on our calendar. All right. If there's no other business, then I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Is there a second? Second, all in favor? Aye. All right, thank you.
Thank you all.